Here are the top stories for today, January 11, 2021. China's Sinovac will arrive in the country by next month. More local government units signed up for the procurement of COVID-19 vaccine shots. ARTA gives a deadline to all government units to automate all their transactions. The Health Department urges all devotees who attended the Traslacion to conduct self-monitoring. Good day, I'm William Theo. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. Presidential spokesperson Roque says China's COVID-19 vaccine shots called Sinovac will arrive in the country by next month. He says about 25 million doses will arrive in the country in tranches. Other vaccines are also set to arrive by June and July.
Sang-ayon po sa Department of Health, magkakaroon na po tayo na ating unang 25 million doses of COVID-19 vaccine from Sinovac at darating na ang bakuna sa Pilipinas sa susunod na buwan. Di ba sabi ko sa inyo, ilang tulog na lang? Well, ito po, literally, sa susunod na buwan, parating na po ang bakuna. Well, wag naman kayo masyadong mag-celebrate dyan dahil ang paunang darating po ay 50,000 doses lamang ng vaccine galing sa Sinovac. Pero at least, magsisimula na rin po tayo. Ito'y in addition dun sa 15,000 na clinical trial na gagawin dito sa Pilipinas. Ibig sabihin, by February, at least 65,000 na ang mabibigyan ng bakuna. Sa susunod na buwan po ng Marso, magkakaroon tayo ng 950,000 na additional doses ng nasabing Sinovac. At sa Abril, 1 million dose. Sa Mayo, 1 million dose. Sa June, 2 million. Hanggang mabuo ang 25 million pagdating ng Disyembre. Bakit po ako tumigil dun sa June? Kasi pagdating po ng June, July, darating na rin po ang Pfizer. At ang July, AstraZeneca.
Presidential spokesperson Roque, during his briefing this morning, cites reports on the efficacy of China's vaccine.
Ang sabi po ng Turkey, 91.25% efficacy rate. Okay? So, ligtas at epektibo po ang Sinovac. Dagdag pa po ng Turkish researchers, wala silang nakitang kahit anong major side effect at 3 milyong doses ng Sinovac vaccine ang in-order ng Turkey.
About 30 million doses of COVID-19 vaccine called Covovax will be available starting third quarter of this year. This as the Philippine government, represented by Vaccine Czar Secretary Carlito Galvez Jr., signed a deal this weekend with Serum Institute of India and Faber-Co Life Sciences. Covovax is in the third stage trials and is expected to be approved for use by international regulators. It underwent the initial phase of the clinical trials in Australia, South Africa, and India, while the third trial is being carried out in the United Kingdom, United States, and Mexico. Faber-Co Life Sciences Medical Director Luningning Villa said the vaccine will be used to vaccinate 15 million vulnerable and poor Filipinos. More local government units are signing up for the purchase of COVID-19 vaccines for their constituents. The details from Marita Moahe.
In Pasig City, Mayor Vico Soto announced that they already signed a tripartite agreement with AstraZeneca and has ordered 400,000 doses worth 100 million pesos. Soto says they are also looking into purchasing additional vaccine from others as the need arises. The city government of Baguio also entered a vaccine deal with AstraZeneca. Their procurement is said to benefit a total of 190,000 individuals or 70% of the city's target population. Another AstraZeneca deal was made in the city of Vigan in Ilocos Sur. In a statement, Mayor Juan Carlo Medina said it placed an advance order of 100,000 to 120,000 doses of AstraZeneca vaccine, which will be given to residents of Vigan City aged 18 years old and above. Meanwhile, Caloocan City also secured a deal with AstraZeneca and placed an advance order of 600,000 doses of COVID-19 vaccine. Manila City placed an advance order of 800,000 doses of the same brand. Mayor Isko Moreno said it will prioritize the elderly, frontliners, and essential workers. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Marita Muaje.
Cabanatuan City in Nueva Ecija will soon open a 32-unit molecular laboratory for COVID-19 testing. This is expected to be operational by late March or early April this year. Vice Mayor and Sangguniang Panglungsod Presiding Officer Julio Cesar Vergara said the construction of the reverse transcription polymerase chain reaction or RT-PCR laboratory at MV Gallego, Cabanatuan City General Hospital is targeted for completion in 102 working days. The 23 million peso locally funded facility has mechanical, electrical, and refrigeration components. The local government says it will extend testing services to residents of adjoining municipalities. Meanwhile, those who want to get anti-COVID immunization are urged to register in preparation for the eventual rollout of the vaccine. The cop who was filmed shooting a woman and her son in Paniki, Tarlac has been dismissed from service. PNP Chief De Bolsina said former Master Sergeant Jonel Nuesca was deemed sacked effective today. Nuesca was slapped with an administrative case with 2 counts of grave misconduct and 2 counts of conduct unbecoming of an officer. He is also facing 2 counts of murder for the death of Sonia Gregorio and her son Frank Anthony on December 20. A viral video caught Nuesca shooting the mother and son during a quarrel. Nuesca had filed a plea of not guilty on January 7. Still to come, more than 3 million workers received financial aid under the Bayanihan Law. The Anti-Red Tape Authority sets a deadline to make all government transactions online. More on these when the PNA Newsroom continues.
Sa matinding laban natin sa Coronavirus Disease 2019, sugpuin din natin ang pagkalat ng fake news. Huwag magbahagi ng impormasyon na hindi tiyak ang pinagmulan. I-check mabuti ang source ng balita. Kumuha lamang ng impormasyon mula sa mga official channel ng Department of Health. Huwag magpadala sa maling balita, basta't sama-sama at laging handa. Kaya natin to. Isang paalala mula sa DOH, PCOO, KBP at ng himpilang ito. Alamin kung paano ang tamang pagsusuot ng surgical mask. Una, hawakan ang mask sa strap at siguruhing natatakpan nito ang inyong bibig at ilong. Tandaan, ang may kulay na bahagi ng mask ang dapat nasa labas. Ito lamang ang tamang paraan ng pagsuot nito. Ihulma ang nose piece o maliit na metallic strip ayon sa hugis ng inyong ilong. Iwasan ang paghawak sa inyong ilong at bibig. Kung marumi na ang mask, hubarin ito gamit ang strap at itapon ito sa isang basurahan. Siguruhin ang maayos na paghuhugas ng kamay gamit ang sabon at tubig. Ang surgical mask ay dapat gamitin ng mga pasyenteng may sakit sa baga o mga taong mayroong ubo, sipon at lagnat, mga nag-aalaga sa mga may sakit, at mga healthcare at frontline workers. Maaari ring magsuot nito kung kayo ay pupunta sa matataong lugar. Basta't sama-sama at laging handa. Kaya natin to. Isang paalala mula sa DOH, PCOO, KBP at ng himpilang ito.
You're still watching the PNA Newsroom. Over 3 million local and overseas workers affected by the COVID-19 pandemic received financial aid from the government. Assistant Secretary Dominic Tutay of the Department of Labor and Employment said over 4 million workers in the country have been affected by the pandemic.
Under Bayanihan 1 and 2, meron po tayong about 28.8 billion suma total na pondo. At ito po ay nagbigay po ng tulong sa mga 3.4 million na mga manggagawa mula sa formal sector, informal sector, pati na rin po yung mga na-repatriate po natin na overseas Filipino workers. Para po doon sa programa natin na Camp COVID Adjustment Measures Program na 5,000 financial assistance po, tayo po ay nakatugon sa pangangailangan ng 1.6 million na mga manggagawa sa formal sector. Sa tupad naman po yung emergency employment para sa informal sector, 1.4 million po ang atin pong naabot na mga informal sector workers at yung pong ating overseas Philippine workers po na naapektuhan din po ng COVID-19, nasa 427,000 po ang ating natulungan.
Meanwhile, the Labor Department is saddened by the untimely demise of Undersecretary Joji Aragon, whom Secretary Silvestre Bello described as a jewel. Aragon is believed to have contracted the virus following a procedure she underwent in the second week of December last year. The Labor Department is asking for prayers for the repose of the soul of Yusek Aragon. Philippine National Police Chief General Debold Sinas has ordered to expand the surprise drug testing to all police personnel. This after another police officer assigned in Caraga tested positive for Shabu. The police is identified as Corporal John Ray Ibasco, assigned with Regional Logistics and Research Development Division in Region 13. Sinas ordered to expedite the pre-charge investigation and initiate summary dismissal proceedings against him. A total of 16,839 police officers have been penalized since 2016 under the PNP's internal cleansing program to rid its ranks of scalawags. Data showed that 4,784 police personnel have been dismissed from the service. 8,349 have been suspended and 1,803 have been reprimanded. Other punishments include demotion, forfeiture of salary, restriction with withholding of privileges. Some 564 PNP personnel have also been removed for involvement in illegal drugs. The Department of Agrarian Reform is ready to give agriculture graduates a maximum of 3 hectares of land. DAR Secretary John Castriciones said this is to help revive the interest in agriculture among young Filipinos. Castriciones said they are about to distribute 150 to 20 hectares of land to some agriculture graduates from the Cagayan State University by the end of January. He added that there are also about 50 hectares of land in Palawan to be awarded to agriculture graduates. Castriciones said he believes that agriculture is the last frontier of survival, most especially in times like these that there is a pandemic. To qualify for the said program, one should be a graduate of a 4-year agriculture course and that he or she has the interest to till and make the land productive and do not intend to abandon or sell it. In our business news, the Anti-Red Tape Authority reminded local government units to automate their transactions before June 17 by putting up the Electronic Business One-Stop Shop or the E-biz. ARTA Director General Jeremiah Belhica led the on-the-spot inspections in Metro Manila that started this week to check LGUs' compliance to the Ease of Doing Business and Efficient Delivery of Government Service Act. Among the LGUs that ARTA visited include Malabon City, Quezon City, Pasig City, and the City of Manila last Friday. Belhica lauds the LGU's efforts to fully automate their transactions to make it easier for the public to do business with the government. The E-biz targets to fully automate transactions in LGUs from downloading of forms using e-signature up to online payment. Up next, debris are said to be found at plane crash site. Meanwhile, the Health Department urges all devotees who attended the Traslacion to conduct self-monitoring. The PNA Newsroom returns after these reminders.
Tandaan ang tamang paraan ng paghuhugas at paglilinis ng kamay upang makaiwas sa iba't ibang karamdaman. Basain ng tubig ang mga kamay at sabunin. Unang sabunin ang mga palad at ang likod ng mga kamay. Kuskusin na maigi ang pagitan ng mga daliri at maging ang mga kuko. Isunod ang pagitan ng mga hinlalaki. at kuskusin ng paikot ang mga dulo ng mga daliri sa magkabilang palad. Banlawang mabuti ang mga kamay sa malinis na tubig at patuyuin ang mga kamay gamit ang single-use towel o air dryer. Basta't sama-sama at laging handa, kaya natin to! Isang paalala mula sa DOH, PCOO, KBP at ng himpilang ito. Alamin ang tamang paraan ng pag-ubo upang mapigilan ang paglaganap ng Coronavirus Disease 2019. Ugaliing magdala ng panyo o tissue. Kung uubo o babahing, takpan ang buong ilong at bibig gamit ang panyo o tissue. Kung walang dalang panyo o tissue, maaaring gamitin ang braso na pantakip. Kung nakararamdam na kailangan umubo o bumahing, agad na dumistansya sa mga tao sa paligid. Huwag dumura kung saan-saan, gumamit ng tissue at itapon sa basurahan. Ugaliin ang paghuhugas ng kamay at paggamit ng alcohol o hand sanitizer upang mamatay ang mikrobyo. Basta't sama-sama at laging handa, kaya natin to! Isang paalala mula sa DOH, PCOO, KBP at ng himpilang ito.
Two villages in Marabot, Samar have declared the Communist Party of the Philippines and its armed wing, New People's Army, persona non grata after a recent attack that killed a town cop. The 63rd Infantry Battalion on Saturday said residents and officials of Canyoyo and Logero villages formally rejected the CPPNPA through a resolution unanimously approved on January 5. The people also condemned the rebel group's treacherous attacks and other human rights violations, including the ambush in Logero village on December 10, 2020. Corporal Earl Hembra was killed in the attack, while detainee Nestor Lumagpas Jr. was injured. The victims on board a patrol car were heading back to the police station after a court appearance in nearby Basay town when waylaid by several gunmen. A ranking police official commended local police in Quicharao town in Agusan del Norte for the arrest of a member of the New People's Army in the area. Police Regional Office 13 Director Romeo Karamat Jr. identified the NPA member as Sherwin Balangay Labrador, also known as Wing Wing, inside the communist movement. Labrador is a member of Guerrilla Front 16 of the Northeastern Mindanao Regional Committee. He was arrested on January 4 in a manhunt operation in Purok 8, Barangay Mahayahay. Karamat said Labrador is in the list of the top 10 most wanted persons in Agusan del Norte. Last January 7, police nabbed Nabe Casañares, a member of the militia ng bayan in Barangay Tungao, Butuan City. Casañares is facing charges of multiple attempted murder. In our foreign news, the crash site of an Indonesian Sriwijaya air flight carrying 62 people that went down at sea Saturday has reportedly been found along with human remains and belongings. Indonesian military chief Hadi Tajanto said he is hopeful the Boeing 737-500 plane wreckage could be recovered early from the area in the waters of the Thousand Islands area between the Isle of Lachang and Laki. He added that he is hopeful the Boeing 737-500 plane wreckage could be recovered later today from the waters of Thousand Islands area between the Isles of Lanchang and Laki. Indonesian President Joko Widodo is reportedly closely monitoring the search and rescue operations and pressing officials to get the results. A search team received a signal from a location believed to be the crash site early Sunday. The military dispatched a team of divers to ensure the signal came from the airplane. The Indonesian warship Rigel was docked at the location since early Sunday. The Sriwijaya airplane lost contact at 2:40 p.m. local time, 4 minutes after taking off from Soekarno-Hatta Airport. It carried 50 passengers, including 10 children and 12 crew members. And in sports, the Philippine team still has enough time to prepare for the Olympic qualifying events this 2021, despite the pandemic halting training for quite some time. Filipino karateka Jamie Lim believes the team can train in 5 months. The 2019 Southeast Asian Games gold medalist said the online training she is getting keeps her in shape. Lim will be among the 46 athletes from 3 different sports to enter the national team training bubble at the Inspire Sports Academy in Calamba next weekend. Philippine Sports Institute National Training Director Mark Velasco said Lim and the rest of the national karate team will enter the so-called Kalam Bubble on January 17. The national karate team will then join the Olympic qualifiers in Paris. Only 3 karatekas from each division will qualify for the main tournament in Tokyo, Japan. The Department of Health, or DOH, advises those who attended the Traslacion to minimize interactions and to conduct self-monitoring for any symptoms. These include fever, cough, fatigue, loss of taste and smell, body pains, headache, sore throat, stuffy nose, red eyes, diarrhea, and skin rashes. Those who develop any of the said symptoms are advised to immediately coordinate with their respective Barangay Health Emergency Response Teams or BERT for appropriate management and referrals. The government continues to assist families in Region 5 and 6 which were badly hit by the tail end of a frontal system. The weather disturbance resulting to a massive flooding in the area. Approximately 1,100 residents have been rescued in barangays in Talisay City and Victoria City in Negros Occidental. The Department of Social Welfare and Development, local government units, and private partners provided more than 1.5 million pesos worth of assistance. Here's another look at today's biggest stories. China's Sinovac will arrive in the country by next month. More local government units signed up for the procurement of COVID-19 vaccine shots. ARTA gives a deadline to all government units to automize all their transactions. The Health Department urges all devotees who attended the Traslacion to conduct self-monitoring. Thank you for watching another episode of the PNA Newsroom. To check more news content, check our webpage or head onto the Philippine News Agency's Facebook and Twitter accounts. For more stories about the government and how it serves Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and websites. We are shown on the pages of the PCOO and its attached agencies. Also watch us on television on PTV4 and IBC 13. And that's your daily dose of the biggest stories that you need to know. From the PNA Newsroom, we tell stories that inspire change. I am William Theo. Good day to all.